I want to talk to you today about my mentoring. Um, the way a lot of people learn how to trade is they'll go out and buy every book, every course, expensive software, expensive data, and before they know it, they got $20,000 or more wrapped up into all kinds of trading education information. And let me tell you, I have got it all. I have got two or three $3,000, $4,000 trading programs. I bought all the data that goes with them. I've got a whole room full of books. I've got probably every $2,000 or $3,000 course. I've got $5,000 courses. I have bought everything over the years learning how to trade because I knew, if I learned how to trade, how valuable that would be. Um, but the thing is, almost everything I've bought, pretty much everything, I don't use it all anymore. I just use my information that I learned because it is stuff that is simple and works, and you can't find it anywhere else. And again, the reason I keep saying that is because I've bought everything and I've seen everything and I've never seen this stuff before. And I'm not saying that there isn't somebody else out there that might know a few of these things, but I think some of these are pretty unique discoveries because I kind of combine indicators in ways that I don't think people would really think to do it. I mean, somebody might know like one half of the equation, like they might use one indicator one way, but then they don't know because it's just totally different things, totally different concepts, and I have combined them. Um, but anyway, with my mentoring, you're not going to have to spend thousands of dollars in books, courses, software. All I use is barchart.com free charts right now. I don't buy any data, and I have all the programs, and I canceled all the data. The main reason I wanted to get away from those programs is because a lot of that stuff I love doing on those programs, the Fibonacci retracements, there's all kinds of neat things you can do with those programs. But the thing is, there's only so many hours in a day. And I used to spend just all day going over this stuff, and I thought, I got to come up with something that is just, I want to know when to buy, where to put the stop, and when to get out. Because you just, there's only so many hours in a day to go over and over and over this information. And the thing is, I really do enjoy a lot of those programs, but I just scrapped them all just because it was just a time thing. And maybe someday I'll get back into them and everything. If I had a helper or something, because it is interesting. I don't know. There's a few of you that probably remember back in 2008, 2007, when the stock market was putting out a low. I called. I said the S&P was going to make a low at 756, and I called it like a month and a half ahead of time. And that's like exactly where it made a low. And I even called the exact day it made the low. And I still get emails from people saying, "I remember that call you made." And the thing is that's the kind of things you can do with that training software. You can get exact like that, but the thing is, the time that goes into trying to figure that out is really not worth it because I just want to know when to buy. So I mean, I don't need to know a month and a half ahead of time that the S&P is going to 756 and that's going to be the exact low. I mean, it's very cool to do. It's very good information to have, but I just want to know when it's time to buy the thing. And that's the kind of thing, and that's where I changed my whole outlook and got rid of all the expensive programs. Now, some of the books and courses, obviously, there are some of the things that I bought that have helped or lead me in the direction I went. I mean, because I'm not using, I use just like moving averages, MACD, stochastics, just the classic indicators, but it's not. So, I mean, I needed the books and stuff and courses to learn those, but it's the way I use them and it's the way I combine them with the data and when I buy, and that's the stuff that's unique about my mentoring information. And I really, honestly, don't think you can find it anywhere else or will ever find it anywhere else. And I really, from my experience, I don't think you can be successful trading without this information. I mean, I hate to say that. I know there's people out there that's successful that have found other ways. And if you found something that's successful, that's great. I'm happy. But I think for most people listening to me right now, you need this information or it's just not going to work. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But that's why I'm kind of being so pushy about it, is because I really think that if you get this information, it can turn around whatever you're doing. And for $1,000, the mentoring, it sounds like a lot, but compared to what you can spend in courses and software and data and books, and compared to what could happen to you with losses, I mean, the stories I've heard on losses over the years are just unbelievable. That's why I kind of got into this business. I had one person I knew that lost like $60,000 in 3 days on the euro, and I just said, "There's no way anybody should happen to anybody." And that's why. And then I've heard even worse stories than that, and that's why I got into this. I wanted to make a service that, even if, let's say at the end of the year on my services, even if we don't make money, nobody's gonna lose a fortune on it, because my trades are lower risk, and I try to make them as low risk as possible. I mean, obviously in commodities you're gonna have to put in some risk. So, okay, I'm gonna wrap up the mentoring sales pitch, but if you are interested in trading, please consider this mentoring. I think it will be the best thing that ever happened to you. And the good thing about the mentoring is it's not only what I've discovered so far, but I'm going to keep studying these markets. I'm going to keep studying buying the $2,000-3,000 courses, because if there's something out there, I want to find it. And if I find something in the future, you're going to get it. And here's something that's very interesting that I almost forgot to mention is last weekend I made what I consider one of the better discoveries I've ever made. I think it's a chart setup that is going to be a gold mine, and that's what I mean. I'm always coming up with new stuff, and I'm going to get this out to my mentoring people as soon as possible. So you're always going to be getting new information, and you're always going to be getting new stuff. And I'm in this for the long haul. I mean, I'm 55, and as far as I'm concerned, when I'm 90, I can still be doing this, because I mean, hopefully I'll live that long. But I just enjoy the markets. I love the markets, and it's something that I never plan on giving up. So anyway, real quick, one last thing. This might help you pay for the mentoring a little bit. Um, Back right here on the chart, the corn chart, I put out a special report email. I don't know if you remember that, back in June, and I said buy mini corn or buy the ETF CORN. And if anybody would have taken me up on that advice, they would have made a good amount of money on this run up in corn. Okay, just so happens this morning, corn I think has made a major bottom. This is 9/28/12. Friday morning, and I think corn has put in a major bottom. Now, I'm not saying that it might not rally up and then come back down and test, but it's close to a major bottom. This wide range reversal says the buyers have stepped in. I think corn is well, it's close to, well, it's at 744 a bushel right now. It was down to 705. I think corn's heading to $9 a bushel minimum from here. So anyway, if you're interested in what I think is a good trade, buy corn right now. That don't mean give it. You might not have to give it a little stop down here somewhere, because again, it could come down here and test and make a new low. But I think a low is in or very close to being in for corn, and I would buy a mini futures contract or CORN ETF, however many shares that you feel comfortable buying of that. And I think corn's going to have a huge rally up to 9 or 10 bushels, 9 or 10 dollars a bushel from here, and it could just go straight up, but more than likely it might come back down and test. But either way, corn's a buy, and maybe that'll help pay for the mentoring. Or if you don't want the mentoring, you can buy my newsletter, but that's another story. So right now, I'm trying to sell the mentoring, because I'm going to fill 5 spots, and then I'm wrapping it up on the mentoring. So thanks for listening. I hate to talk so much, so I guess thanks for listening. I'm going to wrap it up.